So one of what I chose to talk to you guys about today, yep, it's going good. So I wanted to pick, actually, I have several classes that are going very, very well. But there was one of them that I really enjoyed, and I use it with my team. I use it in my classes, and I use it in like my Facebook Lives and my videos. So it's one of the things in my business that I can use in multiple places. So it's, you know, instead of just using this for here and then you're done with it. This I can use in lots of different places. So what I'm going to talk about you guys about is mystery stamping. It's, I do it every team meeting, and I give, well, because we do it on Zoom, and I give out the measurements ahead of time of a card or a project. I will have created one to begin with, and I will tell you, people will say, well, how do you come up with these ideas, Rhonda? I have people, I copy other people's ideas, and then I change them to what products or projects that I'm using. Kate, do you mind grabbing me the cottage wreath stamp set? And then the red, garden green, and early espresso. Yeah, and I don't think I have a block either.
Have you got blocks, Rhonda?
I know, I meant to grab it before I came up here, and I just rushed up here.
Rhonda, what size block do you need?
The one for the wreath would be great.
I think this one.
Thank you. So, but then, as soon as I do it with my team, so I start first with my team, and we do it at the team meeting, and they can, thank you, they can prepare the
that's
pieces.
Granny Apple. Do you want Granny Apple or garden?
Garden, please. So they can cut all the paper, and a lot of times they do it after they see mine, which is fine too, because then you can see all the variations of the same card using different products. It's really, I think it's a really neat way to showcase the different suites and all. So number one, I always encourage my team to do it, and then they post their picture. And then I do like a prize giveaway. Thank you. So there's other demonstrators who do this with their customers. Their Monday night will be mystery stamping night on their Facebook Live. So ahead of time, you'll send out the measurements of the paper they need, the ribbon they need. You need 15 inches of ribbon, and then grab your favorite bundle or stamp set to use. So I'm going to show you, I want to teach you one of the cards. And again, remember, I get my ideas truly by, like, I look for them. Like, I'm watching, and this was shared to me from Gail Beth Rice. She actually shared it to our team. And so I know my team has probably already seen this. We haven't done it as a mystery stamping yet. So anyway, it takes a half a sheet of paper, and you are going to score it at 2, 4, 6, 8. So that's a typical box size, if you guys have ever done a 2, 4, 6, 8 box. When she first made this, I was like, well, this is weird. How is this even gonna be a card? Like, this doesn't, I watched the video, and it wasn't to the very end that it turned into a card. The whole time I kept thinking this was the strangest thing I've ever seen. So it's 2, but now it's so cool. 4, 6, 8. So these are the kind of projects that I would love to make on Facebook Live. And then your customers just love them. And you can do it as mystery stamping, or you can do it, you know, as just a Facebook Live. So on this, so it's 2, 4, 6, 8. Usually, if you were doing the box, if you made them, you would do 2 inches at the bottom, and then you would make a box out of it. But this is not a box. This is going to be a card. It's a stand-up card, which is really cool. So you're going to take your adhesive, and on that tab, you are going to glue all the way down that tab. And so I know, like, isn't it the dumbest card? I couldn't figure it out. So anyway, you are going to seal that right down there. So 2, 4, 6, 8. So this is, any of these you kind of want to put the seam in the back, usually, where it comes together, but if you do it good, it doesn't really even matter. Then you're going to take 2 pieces of designer series paper, and they're 1 7/8 by 5 1/4. And I'm using, again, the Gingham Cottage. I love this paper. And on 2 of the panels, you are going to put your paper. I put my seam in the back. Now, this is not exactly how Gail Beth did hers. This is the kind of quicker Ronda version, just so you know. Oh, shoot. I put that one on the wrong side. So we'll use that in the next card. There. All right, then you put this on another one of the panels. So this is going to be the front of my card.
What was the measurement
They're 1 7/8 by 5 1/4, so you need 2 of them. Then I'm going to take, I have Gail Beck used circles. I think it's a lot easier to work with rectangles. I mean, it doesn't have to be a circle, but circles work too. So you need to take, I'm taking 2, these are from that Celebrate tags, they're 2 rectangles, and I'm folding them in half. Fold them in half, fold them in half. All right, and then just put them aside. We need to create a focal point for our card. So let's say, okay, this is the front of our card, we need to create a focal point. So again, if I was doing mystery stamping, I would give them these measurements for all the papers ahead of time. I'm gonna use the cottage wreaths, and we're going to stamp we're just gonna make a real quick Christmas one. So I have the early espresso with the branch. Then we're going to switch to the green, the garden green. And I know there's really a way to, there's like little tabs and where you line it up perfectly.
Not Rhonda.
Well, I did when I created the samples for you guys, but really, it looks really good, kind of. Now, if I was to die cut that out, no, you would need to line it up,
Oh,
right?
yeah. Okay.
So that's gonna get glued down. And then I'm going to just tie a bow with our red ribbon that you have. I love this red and green ribbon, so just traditional Christmas. I didn't set my timer. I'm going to, I stole some mini glue dots from Jane. These scissors stink. I needed to have him sharpen them. Has he come yet?
Yeah, he's gone.
Is he? Shoot. Those need to get sharpened. And that's gonna go on the front. I would stamp on a label that says Merry Christmas and put that obviously, or I'm just gonna stamp. I'm gonna stamp the Merry Christmas in real red. Right in the middle of the wreath. So basically you're just gonna make a focal point, right? And this is a really, actually, I love it. It's a very nice focal point. And there's little berries. We're gonna stamp a couple little berries. I love the little red berries that are on there. And so this cottage wreath ended up being one of my absolute favorites to work with, for sure. Loved it. So if you haven't bought it yet, which you probably did because you're here. So there's that. Now, this is the focal point of our card. This is the only part that takes a little bit of thinking. On our 2 little, you can call them mechanisms or whatever, you're going to put adhesive on both sides of these tabs. And then you're going to, you want to find, like this is going to go into the middle of this card. So what I'm going to do is I am going to, on this seam, right where that seam is, I'm going to take the fold and put the one side. So one side is glued down. Try to get it straight, would be nice. So I gotta look at it. And then do the same thing on the other side. Can you guys see what I'm doing? Then this goes on the other side, right on, don't go on the fold, it's right where the fold is, the seam. Okay, and then that gets glued down. But these I put glue on them already. So then you take your focal point, it says Merry Christmas, and it does that. Now watch this. So then now the card actually is a stand-up card, and when they get it, it pops up like that.
Cute.
Hello.
Oh, cute.
Now I would have recommended using the same color rectangles so that it blends in. I didn't because I just only had the ones from there, but I would typically normally do that. And then on the back of the card is where you would write the message. And the cool part is it lays flat and it's just mailed in a normal size envelope. So when they get it, and like, oh, Mary, and it's like a card that actually is like a display or like a demonstration, or like they can, like, you know, you can actually look at it. So there you go. That's my demonstration for you. And what's really cool is Susan came to our team meeting. She watched the same video that I watched to learn this, and she created 5 of them up there for you. So after, if you want to get some, now when you see hers, you'll know exactly how to make them. She actually typed up instructions for them too. So, so anyway, you can go upstairs when you go up there and you'll see a few extra. So I just really quick, before we get done, one of my other very most popular classes right now is sold out, is punch art. So I have these all on display. So I'm doing just 4 months of a punch art series. So we do 4 different punch art cards each month, and then we punch it for them. So that's a fun little class I'm doing. I'm only doing it for 4 months, but I love to do series of classes. So don't ever just book one. I always book a series of them. So I'll do 4 months of Christmas card classes. I'll do 4 months of birthday. Then I do 4 months of punch art. I've done, I do that so that people I schedule all 4 at the same time, and then I can switch my theme when those 4 months are up. One of my other most popular classes that I'd love to talk about is using your passion and creating a class around it. So some people's passion might be raising money for Alzheimer's. And so you do a series of classes to raise money and awareness for Alzheimer's, and then you do a class on that. They can take donations, but I really believe in tapping into a passion of yours and then using that as your creative outlet, so that as you're working hard, you're not just doing it for to make money. You're not just doing it to have fun. You're doing it to also bring awareness to a passion of yours. So one of my passions is Christ, and in my faith, and so I love using my creativity to support that passion, so that they don't butt heads. I don't want to choose, do I read my Bible today or do I create a class? I get to do both at the same time. So when I create my Creating for Christ classes, I get to read my Bible at the same time. And so my current one is on that back table. You're welcome to look at it, copy it. The tutorials are always free. And this was my class from last month, and it's a Christmas card class. So every single month I do a Creating for Christ class, and have for, I think, for 7 years. And that's also one of my most popular and my most favorite class that I design every single month. Again, Christ might not be your number one passion, but what is your number one passion that you have? And then you don't have to choose. You can do both if you mix them together. I truly believe that my creativity is a vehicle for me to be able to live my life in honor of Christ. So I think you need to find what's your passion, whatever it is, and then how can I use my creativity to walk in my passion, but also be able to be creative and have fun and enjoy beautiful cards and do all of that. So I always recommend that you tap into and ask yourself, what is it that I love to do? If it's there's so many different ways that you can do that, and then using our creativity to support that. All right, that's my last most popular class I love is the add-on class. So whenever I have a class, or an event, whenever I have an event, I always do small little add-on classes, and those are sometimes also my most successful. So I can take one event and then I can extend my sales and extend my creativity. But they're very sweet, they're very simple, they're just add-ons. It's not the star of the show, it is the sidekick. So the star of the show is where most of the time is going to be involved, most of the money, like a retreat. The retreat is the star of the show, and then the little add-on classes are the fun little sidekicks. So I brought all of these, and I'll put them back on display so you can see the actual projects up close. But the soft seedlings was, I think, a $20 set. I charged $25, and then I made 4 real quick and cute cards using supplies that were in the star of the show. So I didn't have to provide a lot of the things. They already had all the ribbons, the gems, all of that was a part of the main class. I just had to provide the cardstock, and that was it. All right, any questions? Now I talk fast. Okay, so you guys can go upstairs, go push out one of those rooms. So stay together, the 10 of you, and then choose, which